Greg Denning. Got some more great questions I wanted to answer. One of you wrote in and said, hey, I want to hear more updates about Central America, mostly what things cost, and did you feel scared or threatened or intimidated? So I'll hit that first. We have never felt threatened or scared and never felt really in danger. Literally, we camped right on the border of the Mexican-U.S. border. It was right there. I mean, and people coming over the wall and immigration chasing them. We talked to immigration officials and they're like, no, it's not dangerous. They're just trying to get in to work or whatever. Don't feel threatened. He's like, not dangerous. And we camped right. We literally set up our tent and camped right there. Then we camped for 4 months in Mexico, all over the place. Traveled through Belize and stayed in Nicaragua or Guatemala for a long time. Went through El Salvador, part of Honduras, and a couple months in Nicaragua and Costa Rica. We've never once felt threatened or in danger. We just don't. Now we don't go into dark places in a dark night. We're a family. We go to bed early. We stay out of the trouble places. I'm sure you could find trouble if you wanted to. We're not hanging out in a dark alley or at a bar, getting in a bar fight. We're staying away from that. But man, whether we're camping way out in the woods with the farmers or up in the hills with the indigenous people or in the big city, we just had a great experience and a great time, and we don't feel intimidated or scared or threatened. Exactly the opposite is true. The people have been so willing to help, even when they know we are totally lost. They're willing to help us out, have us over for dinner, guide us. I'll stop for directions, and the guy will say, you know what, look, just follow me, and he'll go out of his way and drive all the way over and take me to where I need to go. I mean, we found the opposite. They've just been so kind and so helpful and so friendly. Now, as far as cost, that's across the board. We found that Guatemala, Nicaragua, probably Honduras, El Salvador, really, really inexpensive. Now, they have really nice homes there, and you can buy it. You always pay a premium for imported things. But, we eat a lot. We eat a lot with 6 kids. We'll go every 4 or 5 days to the mercados and just buy loads of fruits and vegetables, all this good fresh food. And we'll get a lot of food for $50. And so, we're spending just on produce, we'll spend $50 every 4 or 5 days. And then, meats are always a little more expensive. We're paying couple of bucks a pound to $3 to $4 a pound, depending on where you are. When we were on the coast of Nicaragua, fresh seafood was cheap, like $1 a pound. It was awesome. Like eggs, we eat a lot of fresh eggs. You get 30 of them for about $4. Milk has always been a little more expensive around here. We're paying about $4 a gallon. And so your yogurts and cheeses are a little more expensive, $3, $4 a pound for the cheeses. And rent ranges for anywhere from $300 to $600 at the lower end, up to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for luxury. Vehicle insurance has been cheap wherever we've been. And look at you, sunset's just blasting through here on us. It's a beautiful sunset in Costa Rica. But for the most part, insurance has been cheap. The medical, if you're interested in that, they have public. Hospitals, they'll treat you for free across the board. In all these countries you've been in so far, they'll take care of you. Or they have private, which is just really great. You go in and pay, and it's still cheaper than a lot of U.S. prices, as far as I know. But really great service and medicine. And those are some of those basic costs of living. Utilities, that's one thing. That internet's $30 a month, but electricity is more expensive. Water's pretty cheap everywhere we've been, but even from $2 to $15 a month. But electricity is pretty expensive. People are very conservative with electricity because it can get up 100, 200, 300, 400. If you're running AC in a hot place, you can be paying $400 or $500 a month in electricity. So that's one you got to watch out for. Somebody else asked us about Honduras and El Salvador. I said, I didn't hear much. What happened? And honestly, we left Guatemala thinking we were going to live in El Salvador. We wanted to go down there and do some surfing, stay on the beach. And it was beautiful. We drove along that coast, and it is just gorgeous. just up and down and around the curves. It was just spectacular and beautiful. Saw some really cool little surf towns. And we got there and we were looking for some housing. Housing was a lot more expensive there to rent, a 3 or 4 bedroom house. It was a lot more expensive. You're paying a premium. And some of them were kind of run down and still wanted, a few thousand a month. So we just didn't, I wasn't feeling right. And we visited a few places, just didn't feel it. Usually we go somewhere and we're like, we feel it. We're like, hey, this is it, we're staying. Just didn't feel it. And so we went into one of the towns, cool little surf town, hang out, kids are playing in the pool. This cool surfer guy with a big old beard walks up and we're saying, hey, where's a great place to go? And he says, honestly, he says, I just came from Las Peñitas, Nicaragua. And he says, go there. It's awesome. Great water, better waves, cool little fishing town. He says, you'll love it. And man, it just kind of clicked for us that was where we were going. And so we actually picked up, went, and we stayed there for 2 months. And just quickly through that little section of Honduras that we have to drive through. And again, from what I understand, Honduras is having a little tougher time right now, a little more unstable. And we got harassed by like 4 or 5 cops in like a 2.5-hour stretch of road. And they were bad. They didn't want to let us go. They wanted to keep my license. They wanted bribes. And I was like, oh, man. So we went and did that stretch. That's all we did. We did that in one day. We did 2 border crossings in that road in one day. So we didn't do anything on Honduras in this trip. But I have some friends living up there. They love it. And so we spent just a week in El Salvador. Cool place at the very south end. And some cool beaches and some good time. There were some cool places. So I liked it. But we only stayed there about a week in El Salvador. And there were some really cool spots. And some expat communities. A lot of backpackers, a lot of surfers there, some good surfing. The same in Nicaragua, and we just loved Nicaragua. Had such a great time. I could go back there any day. Really impressed with Nicaragua, and tourism and travel's picking up there. Economy stable. It's really inexpensive, and man, just a great time in Nicaragua. So from us, 2 thumbs up for Nicaragua. It was great.